Hello everyone, and welcome. Today, I want to talk about a book that has genuinely changed the way I approach my daily life and my long-term goals. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Maybe you've heard of it, or maybe this is the first time. Either way, I'm excited to share some of its core ideas with you, because they are simple, powerful, and incredibly practical. Have you ever set a big goal for yourself, like learning a new language, getting fit, or starting a business? It feels exciting at first, right? But then, after a few weeks, the motivation starts to fade. The goal seems so far away, and the daily effort feels overwhelming. Before you know it, you're back where you started. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. This is a common struggle, and Atomic Habits offers a brilliant solution. The central idea of the book is that massive success doesn't come from massive, one-time actions. It comes from tiny, consistent improvements. James Clear calls these atomic habits habits that are as small as an atom, but when combined, create remarkable results. He uses a powerful metaphor. If you can get just 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. On the flip side, if you get 1% worse each day, you'll decline nearly down to zero. This illustrates the incredible power of compounding. Small habits, good or bad, compound over time. The daily choices we make might not seem significant in the moment, but they determine the person we become. So, how do we build these good habits and break the bad ones? The book breaks this down into a simple 4-step framework. But before we get to the how, we need to talk about something even more fundamental: our identity. This was a huge takeaway for me. Many of us focus on outcome-based habits. We say, I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to write a book. These are our desired outcomes. The problem is, this approach often pits our new goals against our current identity. Instead, Clear suggests we focus on identity-based habits. This means we start by thinking about who we want to become. Instead of saying, I want to run a marathon, you focus on becoming a runner. Instead of I want to write a novel, you focus on becoming a writer. The goal isn't the outcome. It's to embody the identity. So you ask yourself, what would a healthy person do? Or what would a productive person do? A healthy person would probably take the stairs. A writer would write a page, or even just a sentence, every day. When your habits are aligned with your desired identity, you're no longer fighting against yourself. Each small action becomes a vote for the type of person you want to be. Going to the gym isn't a chore anymore. It's you casting a vote for being a fit person. Reading a chapter of a book isn't just a task. It's a vote for being a lifelong learner. This shift in perspective is subtle, but profoundly effective. You're not just chasing a result. You're reinforcing who you are. Now, let's get into the practical 4-step model for building habits. Clear calls this the habit loop, and it consists of 4 stages: cue, craving, response, and reward. Every single one of our habits, good or bad, follows this pattern. First, there's the cue. This is the trigger that tells your brain to initiate a behavior. It could be a time of day, a location, a preceding event, or an emotional state. For example, your phone buzzing is a cue to check your notifications. Waking up in the morning is a cue to make coffee. Second is the craving. This is the motivational force behind every habit. You don't crave the habit itself. You crave the change in state it delivers. You don't crave smoking a cigarette. You crave the feeling of relief it provides. You don't crave turning on the TV. You crave the feeling of being entertained and relaxed. Third is the response. This is the actual habit you perform the action or thought. It's the moment you pick up the cigarette, check your phone, or make that coffee. And finally, the reward. This is the end goal of every habit. The reward satisfies your craving and teaches your brain which actions are worth remembering for the future. The relief from the cigarette, the bit of information from your phone, the taste of the coffee, these are all rewards. If a behavior is insufficient in any of these 4 stages, it will not become a habit. To build good habits, James Clear gives us 4 corresponding laws. He calls them the 4 laws of behavior change, and they are designed to make building good habits inevitable. The first law is, make it obvious. This law relates to the cue. To build a good habit, you need to make the cues for it obvious and visible. If you want to drink more water, place a water bottle on your desk where you can see it all day. If you want to practice guitar, leave your guitar out in the middle of your living room instead of in its case in the closet. The more obvious the cue, the more likely you are to start the habit. Conversely, to break a bad habit, you do the opposite. You make the cue invisible. If you want to stop snacking on junk food, don't keep it in your house. Hide it, or better yet, don't buy it at all. The second law is, make it attractive. This relates to the craving. We are more likely to do something if we find it attractive. One way to do this is a technique called temptation bundling. This is where you pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. For example, maybe you want to watch your favorite show on Netflix, but you need to exercise. You could make a rule for yourself. I'm only allowed to watch Netflix while I'm on the treadmill. By bundling the temptation with the habit, you make the habit more attractive. You start to look forward to getting on the treadmill because it means you get to watch your show. The third law is, make it easy. This relates to the response. This is probably one of the most important laws. We are naturally drawn to the path of least resistance. The more friction there is between you and a habit, the less likely you are to do it. So, to build a good habit, you need to reduce the friction. This is where the 2-minute rule comes in. When you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Want to read more? The habit is read 1 page. Want to get fit? The habit is put on your workout clothes. The goal is to master the art of showing up. Anyone can put on their workout clothes. Anyone can read 1 page. Once you've started, it's much easier to continue. But the key is to make starting so easy that you can't say no. To break a bad habit, you do the opposite. Increase the friction. If you want to watch less TV, unplug it after each use and put the remote in another room. The extra effort required will often be enough to stop you from mindlessly turning it on. And the fourth and final law is, make it satisfying. This relates to the reward. We are more likely to repeat a behavior when the experience is satisfying. The problem with many good habits is that the reward is delayed. The benefit of exercising today won't be visible for weeks or months. The benefit of saving money today won't be felt until retirement. So, we need to find a way to get an immediate reward. One way is to use a habit tracker. Every time you complete your habit, you get to check a box. It's a small, simple action, but it provides a little bit of immediate satisfaction. It's a visual representation of your progress, which is motivating. Seeing that unbroken chain of check marks makes you not want to break the streak. It feels good. This immediate satisfaction bridges the gap until the long-term rewards of the habit start to kick in. So, to recap the 4 laws for building good habits: make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. And to break bad habits, you just invert them. Make it invisible. Make it unattractive, make it difficult, and make it unsatisfying. What I love about Atomic Habits is that it's not about willpower or gritting your teeth. It's about designing your environment and your systems to make good habits the easy and automatic choice. It's about understanding human psychology and working with it, not against it. The book is filled with countless stories and practical examples. I make these concepts easy to understand and apply to your own life. It's a reminder that you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Your goals provide direction, but your systems are what make progress. And by focusing on these tiny atomic changes, these 1% improvements, You create a system that carries you toward your goals almost effortlessly over time. It's a message of hope and empowerment, showing that anyone, no matter where they are starting from, can make meaningful, lasting change in their life. It all starts with a single, small habit. So if you've been feeling stuck, or if you have a goal that seems out of reach, I highly recommend giving Atomic Habits a read. Or even just start with one of the principles we talked about today. Pick one small habit you want to build. Maybe it's flossing one tooth, or doing one push-up, or writing one sentence. Use the 2-minute rule. Make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. See what happens. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and the path to remarkable results begins with a single atomic habit. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope this little overview was helpful and perhaps gave you a new way to think about your habits and goals. If you enjoyed this, feel free to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might find it useful. I'll see you in the next one.